Today we are talking about plumbing, and just like in our last video where we talked about our electrical system and we just talked about the components and didn't actually show you the installation, we're going to do the same thing with plumbing because it's really not that interesting to watch Andy crimp a bunch of PEX tubing. That's all it is. We'll be covering our fresh, gray, and black water systems in this video. And in the description, there will be a blog post that has links to all of the components that we're talking about in this video. We are gonna start with the freshwater system.
We have a 28-gallon wheel well water tank from Northwest Conversions, obviously mounted here underneath the bed. And it has a special notch and cutout, so it fits the wheel well of the van, so it uses space that would normally go to waste. We have this set up to fill from the outside using a gravity fill setup. So there's a fill port on the outside, and right here, this smaller hose right here is the vent. So when you're pouring water in, air has to come out, and that's what the vent is for. On the outside of the van is a locking cap, just to keep people from messing with it. Probably nothing is ever going to happen, but we just feel a little better having a key to open it up. Water is drawn from the bottom of the tank here, and then goes to a 3-gallon per minute 12-volt pump that automatically turns on and off and holds a set pressure. Once it goes from the pump, it goes through a household type water filter that has a 5-micron carbon element in it. From the filter, it splits. One leg goes over to the driver's side to feed the bathroom and the head bidet over there. And then the other side splits again, and half of it comes back here to the shower and the back for the cold water, and then the other half goes forward up to the water heater and the sink.
So as Andy was saying before, the cold water comes from the back of the van and it goes into the cold water side of the faucet. And then it also goes to the input of our hot water heater. We have a 2.5-gallon electric water heater under here. It's almost identical to what we had on Ecola, and I will put that video up here of how Andy set that up. We have a almost identical setup, including the settings that he has on our batteries so that it doesn't accidentally kick on and drain our batteries. So that has been really great. There are a couple of other water heater options that you can put in a van. This is the least complicated and the least expensive option, which is why we went with it. But it is significantly smaller than some of the other options are. We are used to Navy showers, as you will, so not a big deal for us to only have 2.5 gallons. I think combined, we typically only use about 1.5 gallons of water for both of us to shower, so no big deal. That hot water comes out of there, goes back up here into the faucet, and also runs a line all the way back to the rear of the van to our shower.
Right here we have our shower mixer, and that is for our outdoor shower that we use to obviously shower, wash off our feet, and wash the dog when he gets really muddy. So this is actually a thermostatic mixing valve. So on one side it controls the water flow, and the other side you can control the temperature, and you can actually set a temperature. We set ours to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. And what this does is within a second or two of pushing the button, you have water that is that temperature. You're not messing around with a regular mixer trying to get the temperature just right, wasting a ton of water. And that's really important when you only have 28 gallons to work with. If you're getting down towards the end of the tank and feeling extra miserly, you can actually open up the water fill and squirt a little bit of water in there so you don't waste that second or two of water when you first start your shower. So because this is not in an actual shower enclosure, and if it drips, it would be bad, we have 2 shut-off valves behind here that we turn on when we're going to use it, in addition to the shut-off here and the shut-off here on the shower head itself.
Just talk about the shower head real quick.
And the shower head is your traditional RV shower head that has an on and off button, so you can take your Navy shower, which means that you wet yourself down, put your soap on, and then you rinse the soap out. You don't let the water run the whole time, because that would be insane.
One of my big requests for the van build was that we have a large and deep sink. It's really challenging to hand wash dishes in a sink that's really small or really not very deep. shallow. That's the word I'm looking for. This is the largest sink that we could fit in this cabinet. It does take up a significant amount of counter space, but I would not trade it for the world. It is a great catch-all for counter items when we're underway. It fits a ton of dishes. It's so easy to hand wash dishes in this sink. It is massive, but well worth it, and I would not trade that. The other thing I would not trade, and this is the third one of these faucets that we have installed, is this faucet. I will sing its praises for boat and RV use until forever. There are a couple things I love about this faucet. The first is that it isn't super tall, but it gives you all of the flexibility that a super tall faucet would give you. But we don't have, I'm never like fighting this under cabinet to deal with it. The other thing I love about this is that this faucet handle has this button at the bottom. And the button, if you squeeze it, allows you to turn the water on and hold the water in your hand. And then you can just release the button and you can start and stop the water from the button in your hand. It's a massive water savings. The other thing I love about this one is that it has the spray feature if you need a little bit more oomph when you're doing the dishes, but it is very low flow. It goes through not very much water at all, which is awesome. But it is high pressure, low flow, which is what you want in these situations. So once the water comes down to the sink, it drains into our only part of our gray water system, which is under the sink here. It is a 5-gallon water tank that we've repurposed from the boat. These were some of the external auxiliary tanks that we've been using on the sailboat when we're in the Bahamas and water's harder to come by. They needed to be replaced, so we're just repurposing them for this. They're still perfectly fine, but we just weren't feeling that great about using them for fresh water and drinking water anymore. They've been in use for far too long at this point. So we are repurposing them as gray water. So we have 2 of these, one here and one that sits in our garage when it's not in use. That way we have 10 total gallons we can use between dumping stations. We have yet to need to use the second one yet. So it's more there for a just in case measure. The water drains in here through our household sink into a Camco RV adapter, which allows the sink household bottom to be converted to a 3/4 inch hose. It runs then through the hose into this adapter that Andy has 3D printed, and that actually allows us to get a nice seal on this tank. The adapter itself has a little gasket around it. That gasket seals this off so we don't have any stink from our gray water. I will tell you that gray water, I think, smells worse than black water does most of the time. So it's really a big deal to make sure that you have a good seal on these, or you have a nice venting system that is allowing for things to not get out of control, because it's gross. This adapter is going to be on our website after this video goes live for purchase. If anyone is interested, we are going to have the one that fits this version of the Scepter 5-gallon tanks, but it's really nice because it just goes right on here. And then the standard little cap goes right on top, and then it's nice and tight. Can't pop out while you're on the road, and it just sits right under here. The last thing to talk about is our bathroom. And we have the cold water system runs a line across the van and into our bathroom to run our handheld bidet. We use the bidet for 2 things. One is to reduce toilet paper, and the second is to flush our toilet, which I will get to in just a second. We're planning to do a full review of our Thetford cassette toilet in a future video, but it does have the option to have a hard plumbed flushing system, but we have chosen not to set that up and use the handheld bidet instead, because we're able to be a little bit more targeted with how we flush, and it saves just water and tank space to be able to do that. This toilet empties into a 5-gallon cassette. It's really simple. All you have to do to flush is just flip it over, flip it back, and then we just add a little bit of water to the top of it to keep the smells down. We haven't had any issues with smells, but like I said, we are going to do a full review of this setup in a future video, so stay tuned if you're interested. We do have a backup cassette, so that gives us 10 gallons of black water in addition to our 10 gallons of gray water. And it's worked out so far. We haven't actually had to use the second tank yet, which is great. We're like 6 months into van life at this point and haven't had to use the second one, but it's nice to have. It's a just in case, because overflowing one of these bad boys is not something you want to do. And that's it. If you have any questions, as always, drop them in the comments. We're happy to answer what we can, and we will see you next time.